Hope you can hear me good. There's a fallen camera. There's a sound at the background. That's a computer. So I wanted to talk about not talk. I wanted to share about one thing. Um, we're building here the village of peace. So this summer we started to build something, and so all the summer and also now December I'm working every day. I'm pretty hard, exhausted, and not having time for channeling things. But just yesterday, you can write questions now at any moment about any topic. Those who are online. So just yesterday, I decided, okay, now is a really big chaos about these viruses, about these, especially in Latvia. There's like a panic and chaos, and I got a little bit worried, and I got a little bit, I don't know, let's say worried, and I decided to do a little bit of channeling myself to maybe get some answers. So I come to a conclusion. No, there was a couple of informations. There were some military dead guy came, but it's not about him. It's about my conclusion. So the conclusion. Uh, I didn't. Uh, I didn't. I didn't receive any. I didn't receive any. What are vaccines? What is the virus? What are the uh, let's say the idea behind of that all? But just today, I came to a conclusion from all that information. The conclusion is from, well, let's call it the place of absolute presence, or place of heaven, or place of Esi, as I call it, the beingness itself, total beingness. And the information was that when we actually die, or when we pass over to the spirit realm, or when we pass over to the higher bliss state, we don't care what happened there. We don't care what happened here. Everything that happened here was a lesson, and that lesson is constantly ongoing. Wait, I'll turn on the sound. And the lesson is constantly ongoing. What it means is that the answer to me was that I was like, hey, like, what's going on? And the answer was like anger, or fear, or stress, or chaos, or whatever your unique experience you are then having at that moment is taking you off or taking you away from the self-awareness state, from the I am state. I am observing the now. I am, you know, I call it the self, which is the observer of this place, which is observer of what's going on now. The soul, like that you who is right now hearing, like that you who is right now listening, and that you who is also understanding something right now, and that you who is feeling yourself right now, that you who observes the thought, that you who feels how you think, the separated thoughts. So, but going away from the self, I mean, losing this feeling of the self I am, this feeling. So all these chaos and fears and anger and everything takes you away from the self-awareness state, from the self-beingness, meaning you start losing yourself, and that's the name, self. You start losing the self. So, uh, and the answer was that all these things uh, lead you away from the self. So it's a lesson, or such experience is a school that where you learn learn to be yourself at all given times, and being yourself at all given times leads you back to the source, leads you back to the spirit realm, leads you back to the place where you came from as a soul. So the answer is simple: there is no anger, no good, no bad in this world. Right? Everything is good and everything is bad. Everything is big and everything is also small. It's just compared to, or from your point of view. Everything is heavy, like, I don't know, like this house is heavy. But for an elephant, this house is small, like not heavy, like light. Uh, all truths are actually true at this moment. You have the decision to choose whether it's good, big, bad, or small, or whatever. All colors are actually the same. You can choose whether you like that color or don't like that color. I mean, like, they're not the same, but they're like the same in neutral. They don't mean anything. You have the ability to choose it. So, uh, what it means is no matter what happens in this universe, in this planet, it's also good and it's bad. And it also will be like this. So, why should you be angry about something? Why should you be, um, I don't know, why should you be, no matter how you feel about something? Because it's just your point of view. It's just from the place. And also, there was in the channeling, there was one sentence which I have kept in my mind for a long time. People tend to say, I will manage to finish that. I hope I will manage to finish that. I want to grow up. I want to have some 10 kids and I'll finish education and everything. And then maybe I want to save the world. So I'll do something. Or maybe, all these ideas. I want to do that. I want to change that. I want to change this and blah, blah, blah. So you can sit down and just realize that the planet was all good without you before you were born. And planet will be all good without you when you pass over and return back to the source. So actually, the situations around you just don't mean anything. They, they just, they're just meaningless. And in fact, if you build something like a house or something and you want to last it long, like an education that lasts for lifetimes, like maybe some spiritual knowledge that will last for lifetimes, as soon as you die, that knowledge will disappear and change to different knowledge. It doesn't mean anything. It's like the world itself is constantly changing. So and that's a part of duality. Like, so it's part of duality also that everything doesn't have meaning. It's like everything has its own, your own meaning, which you can label it and give it to. So why should, like this, like there is only one truth. Oh, that's what I want to tell. There's only one truth, and that truth is you. That truth is you. Who right now sees everything, and all you can do from the answer from the channeling that I had yesterday is realize yourself, be yourself. And while I was driving back from one meeting right now, which was about government is this, government is that, blah 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 blah, I started talking with this friend, which I have, and there were a couple of topics we discussed, and like I was sharing him something, he was sharing me his own experience about something as well, and I feel really good about him. I felt really he's such a he has understood many things, and he gave me many good energetical feelings about the conversation we had. So knowing the truth yourself, which is the truth, uh, you also uh, came to a different understanding, a little bit different point of view from life. Like, for example, all of we have like these positions of where we get angry, when we get sad, depressed, and emotions caught up really badly, and we get out of control, or we feel depressed, or we feel sad, or we feel really fearful. Doesn't matter. You caught up in certain emotions, like you can lose yourself. For example, you cannot think objectively and stuff like that. But there is one if. If you have realized yourself, realized, like, remembered, or you feel the observer, that you who you truly are, from all away from these distractions or abstractions of mind concepts. I can talk about this a lot. How can you realize it? How can you feel it? I can talk about this long videos. If you have any questions, I'm free to chat about this. But when you do realize that, uh, you realize that I feel sadness, not I am sadness. I feel anger, not I am anger. I observe the angerness. I observe an energy that feels like greed. I observe the energy that makes me feel bad or fearful or anger or depressed, doesn't matter. So that's a big difference, because the I am, the self who I am, that one which is you, that is observing and hearing right now, doesn't have any of these emotions. He only has divine feelings and divine observerness. Curiosity, how it may feel to feel bad. Curiosity, how it may feel to feel good. But what it has is divine feelings. I'm not great to see you again live. Yes, I'm live for a certain period of time. Okay, Leland was asking when is the next channeling ongoing, and I hope after December. By the way, I don't know the sound quality. Is the sound okay? Because you know the guitar sounds awful through bad microphones. I don't know. Does it have a clear sound at your end? So, what are divine feelings? Divine feelings are when you are in this now state. You're starting to feel blissful, blissful, and blissful, and blissful. When all those noises are gone, you start to come back to this your true natural self, and connection back to your true natural self. So there are only how I have found through channeling, there are only two natural divine energies. That is joy, and that is love. And there is also a joy differentiates into two other things. Basically on colors. There's pure white bright, crystal bright white, crystal bright white, and yellow. But yellow differentiates in two colors: golden and yellow. Yellow whitish and yellow goldenish and golden. So those also are crystal clear lights. So these are basically two feelings. One is divine pure love light, which is the bright white light, and the other is joy, happiness, laughter, and also this golden light means intellectual, like godlike, creative, like intellectual. So basically, there could be godlike loving feelings, there can be godlike joyfulness, excitement, which is basically in excitement, a person would feel, wow, how interesting! I want to try this, I want to try that. How interesting! And intellectual would be I want to create. I want to create and have the higher understanding about the creation itself, like how to create things in life. So these are only the two or three, basically two energies, but they differentiate into three feelings. So when having these, returning back to the self realization, you're turning back to these divine creative energies. You're turning back to this who you actually are and from where you actually came from. Now the path to it is a little bit difficult, but there's a little to share, and you already understand everything about it. So I think it's a long topic. I'll maybe talk about this in different videos if you're interested in. But definitely, I have talked a lot about these in my English channels videos as well. So what it basically means is anger, fear, chaos, protest doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything in the infinite. So when I was driving back home from the yesterday's channeling again, it all brought me a picture to again, which I understand myself to be, is that they don't mean anything. I can lose myself in angers. I can lose myself in fears. I can lose myself into depression. Maybe not depression, but anyway, in different emotions. But uh, I cannot I, I choose to be myself no matter what happens. I choose to stay with myself no matter what happens. Even if I get beaten up, even if I, I, I don't know, tsunami comes over me, even if in protests a war starts or something, even if, no matter what happens, I choose to be myself at all given times, and I choose to be with myself in all given times, meaning that I don't care. This duality has its storms, has its good times. This planet has its good or bad times. It doesn't mean anything. Life and everything is changing. From these wars comes peace, and from these peace comes war. It doesn't mean anything to me. It doesn't mean anything. The more value which I value is I remember who I am. I remember the self I am. Like, know thyself. I remember that self, and I will be myself no matter what happens, because I will never lose that. Even if this body somehow passes over, I'll still remain, and I'll still be myself. It's like losing your best friend that you ever had. You lose on relationship, you feel sad. You know, you you lose. I don't know. You lose your car. Maybe, I don't know. Somebody steals your car. You feel sad, but you will never lose yourself. So if you just think about this little, why are we actually afraid of losing something? Losing, for example, our physical freedom, losing, for example, some I don't know, material stuff. Maybe, I don't know, maybe a close relative, or maybe when people die, they are like fearing so much that they are. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I don't want to go. And when you think about it, what are you actually afraid of? You have been born several times. You have died several times. No matter. The thing is that I'm just sharing my opinions. I'm sharing my experiences. I'm not telling that this is completely true for you, because it doesn't mean it's completely true for you, right? Mm, so and it should not be exactly true for you. There's for everybody and everyone there's a different path that we are going through. So it's just an idea that you can listen to. Um, so, from people when they die, they're about to die, maybe from age and everything. Uh, they're afraid, right? But when you ask, what are you afraid of? From what? From a natural occursion? Occursion? From what? What are you afraid of? And actually, the human is not. The soul itself is never afraid of. It's like when we go to sleep, we go to different realities when we dream, like dream realities, basically, you call it. Or some have like astral travels to different unreal worlds, right? the soul left the body, it didn't care about anything, It just, yeah, he's there. I will go to an astral planet or whatever else. Uh, the soul doesn't give a damn about the physical body. It's like an interesting experience. It has I really enjoyed being Mattis right now. He's a really nice guy. He lives in a really interesting place. He's a beautiful experience. Having beautiful experience with other souls that are right here. But I'll go somewhere else. I'll be somewhere else. So what I'm trying to tell is that the only thing what people are afraid of is losing the attachments, losing something they believed is true. The mind believed is true. Like I had a car, I have a house, I have a family, I have blah blah blah. Blah. They like build up this story that they are afraid to lose. Like we are building this story about free will, unlike free will. We're building up this story about free human. Like we are free, right? We have these all kinds of stories right here, attachments that we are having right now, right? So we are afraid. The mind is afraid to lose it, and then it starts warring, then it starts fighting, and then it starts doing all kinds of nonsense. So what I want to tell is that when being yourself, you understand that everything is as fine as it is right now, with or without everything that you have or don't have. Okay, question time. So that was a short story which I expanded into almost now 25 minutes. So let's go through. Whoa, this is amazing. I am realizing exactly this at the moment too. Okay, Anthony H. Great to see me again. Okay, that's what I wrote. It is mainly only people that do not understand the soul journey and reincarnation cycle, whether or not they have died in the past, they chosen not to remember. Indeed, are you doing an English version of the COVID channeling? So I didn't channel the COVID. I wanted to channel, but I didn't. I had difficulties of getting the channel to open because of the long time of not doing channeling. So the only thing which I got was the information which I shared right now. But um, there was also a military guy who came, and I received only fragments of information about the military stuff. So what I realized is that there is actually no point even to fighting against somebody. There's no point again fighting against somebody. So if you have any questions, write those questions, because I think I managed to explain what I had. there there are hovering rumors that the military will be attacking Sweden with this real virus soon. Okay, blah blah blah. Well, this I realize. I appreciate you taking like this. Okay, I'm curious about the thing that you are building. Are you doing retreats? And I'm from England, and I would love to come and see. Yeah, we are building also this for meditation, like meditation retreats, where you can live, where you can meditate, learn channeling, and etc. But it's winter; it's not yet finished. I hope to finish only this winter. Uh, Definitely, at least a month. So nothing to do until I think until the summer. Okay, I think I need to finish this video because I need to make another the same video in Latvian language, right? But you can go to that video. I will start doing it right now, and you can continue writing questions in English, and I will answer them in English. So because I need to share this also in Latvian language. See you guys. Bye bye, and still remain the self.